Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of FSEconomy with me, your herd 37. So in this flight, we're going to go back over to our Cherokee, the one that the group owns, and we're going to go to the east. Like I've been saying, I want to go to the east to get this thing kind of out of the California area, especially near LA and everything. So we're going to fly our Cherokee, and we're over at L71. You can see it's California City Municipal in California City, California. And let's see, we're going to actually fly over to 52 AZ. Let's go to my flight. There you go, 52 AZ, which is X1 Ranch Upper Headquarters in Seligman, Arizona. It is a little dirt landing strip. It's so skinny, I'm probably going to miss the runway. I'm a little afraid. But we got 3 people here, which is the most that we can take. It only pays $2,121, but it's only 3 people. Like, we're not going to make that much money on a small plane like that. So as you can see here, I've actually put a little more fuel in here to 66%. You can see it's about 232 nautical miles, so it is kind of a longer flight for us, especially in this plane. And we have to use navigation. We can't use the GPS. Technically, I can use the GPS because it's A to A, but that's kind of cheating because we don't have GPS in the plane. Let's see, so was it 232 nautical miles? You can see it uses 9 gallons an hour, so we've got, what, well over 3 gallons. It says about 110. It really don't go quite that fast, and we lean out quite a bit, so we don't use that much fuel, so it should be just fine with fuel. Could be kind of heavy, though, I'm thinking taking off. Let's go over here and look at FS Commander. Alright, so L71, as you can see, the wind here is basically coming from the west-northwest, so we're going to actually take off. There's 2 runways. I believe this says 3, but it looks like 2 on FSX. Maybe I just couldn't see the other side. But this one, at least one of them, is grass or dirt runway. I think it's grass. And we're going to take off on runway 24, which is an asphalt runway, heading 243 degrees. And then let's see. We're going to come over to the DAG VOR, which is 113.2, then over to the Golf's VOR, which is 114.4, and then over to Kingman, the IGM VOR, 108.8, and then it's about 32 nautical miles over, heading about 065 degrees over to the airport. And it's kind of by itself, which is nice because if we get lost, hopefully we don't get lost in the first place, but it shouldn't be too confusing. The only one that could be confusing really is that one. Because, well, at least we should be able to know that we're about 32 nautical miles away, not using the nav. Alright, I think that about covers everything on here, so let's go ahead and move on over to the plane. Alright everybody, here we are at the airport. I guess there is 2 of those grass ones, because there's one right there, and there's the other. So I guess there is 2. Couldn't see it because I think it was way down one of the ends when I was checking out which was active here. And I've got everything loaded in the plane. Of course, you got to do that with A to A. Remember, it'll screw things up if you don't. Start the flight. Remove 33. No thanks, we're good. Alright, so we've got our 3 people. Alright, and remember, this is like the only plane I think I don't have procedures for. We just gotta kind of wing it. I mean, we kind of know how to do it because we've flown it a fair amount. So I'm going to go ahead and flip on the master switch. And I'm going to give it just a little bit of throttle here. Let's go full rich on that. Start the pump until we get fuel pressure. Alright, turn that off. Now we'll give her a little bit of fuel here. Let's go ahead and turn on beacon. Right there it is. Now we go ahead and hit this. Actually, we need to. I think we have to leave that on when we actually turn it on. We'll see. And after one rotation, when we start her, we hit the mags, and she doesn't. Oh, she sounded like she wanted to go. There it is, right there. Of course, now we'll lean this out to about 800 RPM. We're about, nah, I'm going to leave it right there. Let's go ahead and lean this out. Let's turn off the fuel pump as well. Let's go ahead and lean this out. 66%, that's, I'll leave it right there at 62. Alright, let's go over to our gauge. I can see it kind of from here, but we do have oil pressure. That's the first thing we want to check. It is in the green. Yep, in the green and fuel pressure as well. And the fuel tanks should be right. I mean, I just filled them up with ATC, so I figured that would be good. So everything looks good there. Let's go ahead and turn on our navs. Nav switch right there. Let's go ahead and turn on, well, we got to hit the master switch. That's pitot heat, and there's the radio master switch. So get all of our electronics on. It's not the button I wanted to hit. There we go. And we'll put transponder in standby. Remember, we're not using GPS. Alright, so the heading of the runway is going to be 243 degrees. So let's put this at 243. Guess I should have gone the other way. Here we go, 243. I'm going to go ahead and go over here to our navigation here, because I want to go ahead and start putting in the DAG viewer. It's 113.2. I'm going to put it in here as well. Sometimes it seems like one of the navs doesn't want to work. So I'll get 113.2, 113.2 in both of them. Let me check something here. Move stuff around. Wrong way. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and let go of the parking brake and get us pushed back here. Looks like we're at a building here. We're in the small parking area, but it gave us that. Oh, well, I got a day off tomorrow, man. I am so happy, so I figured, heck, let's go flying. And do a bunch of flying tomorrow, hopefully. Alright, stop the pushback. And we don't have a taxi light. Bring my yoke back. Let's go over to the runway. Let's see, I don't know, I didn't think there was going to be a tower here. Alright, so let's tune over to the traffic. I probably should have already done that. Select a runway for takeoff, 24, and announce our taxi. And I believe, let me check. I think we can taxi down here and then cut over. Yeah, alright. It's kind of weird with those two grass runways and they're like separated and everything. Alright, so we have to go down to the very end. There's no, well, there's that intersection right there, but we wouldn't have enough room to take off if we went from right there. And I guess we won't use any flaps for the takeoff. It says normally you don't use flaps, but it says for short field you can use up to 25 degrees flaps. So I guess we're not going to use any. It is kind of a crosswind anyway. It just seems odd to me because it seems like we always use flaps for takeoff, but it really does say, you know, that you normally don't. Since that's what the manual says, I guess that's how we'll fly her. Get off the power just a little bit slower down. Feels like we're going quite fast. Haven't flown the Cherokee in quite a while. Last time I think wasn't the last time we used navigation. Well, we had to have, because we don't have GPS in here. It just costs too much. What was it, 60 grand or something for the GPS, and it's just, I'm trying to build up to that 300 grand, and after that, I'm fine with putting GPS in there. It would make flights easier, I will say that. And maybe more appealing for people to rent it, because I don't know that we've had anyone outside the group fly this thing. I'm not sure anyone's rented it, although we're at smaller airports too. So maybe that would make it more appealing if it had the GPS. But, I mean, we're not going to make 60 grand. Well, we charge people $100 and some an hour to rent this thing, and we're not going to make 60 grand off of it. I'm trying to get this thing to go forward a little bit. I mean, it to stop so abruptly, and then it wouldn't go at all. It's like the freaking Twin Otter. Now let's go down here. Parking brake is on. Let's come up here and check our controls real quick. Everything looks good there. Rudder pedals, everything is good there. I'll go ahead and take this off again real quick. Alright, going full rich on the mixture here. Now we want to take her up to about 2,000 RPM. Make sure we pull back. Here we go. That's actually a good view right there. Alright, 2,000 right there. Let's check the mags. It doesn't sound good. I don't know if that... I don't even think that passes. It's off by more than 100. That one doesn't sound near as bad. It's weird. I don't know that I've ever had the A-to-A one up past that. And then we'll bring it down. Stall check. Man, it really sounds like she's gonna stall. Go ahead and give her some more power. Alright. So everything looks good there. Well, minus the mags. I don't know. It was kind of rough. It seemed like the first one, I don't know if that was passing or not. Like I say, I have that always happen, though. And the Coronado, they never change. I wish there was like a more in between. Alright, so we're heading out to the east. Let's tell everyone we're departing to the east.
1 traffic, Hyper November 832 Papa Whiskey, taking off runway 24 east departure.
Alright, now let's go down here. We gotta get our landing lights on. We do use the fuel here for takeoff. Landing lights are also on. Strobe lights are on. Everything looks good there. Parking brake coming off. Let's just check real quick. Let's go ahead and turn our transponder on as well. We'll just go ahead and take off as well. There's no reason to stop. Alright. Go ahead and advance the power. Alright, that's full power right there. Trying to keep her from heading to the right. My goodness. My goodness, she wants to go over. Let's go ahead and rotate. Alright, so we got up in the air. That's the good news. Now we're going to go to a heading of about 087 here in just a second. Pitch her down a little bit. That's the one thing I hate about flying this aircraft, is pitching this plane. Or trimming it, I should say. And we may not be able to pick up that VOR right away because I think we might have been out of range. I wanted to say it was about 70 miles. That's probably too far to even pick it up. Alright, let's turn here out to the left. And we'll go to, like I said, it's about 087. Sorry, I'm having to fly with my left hand. Alright, 087. Now I can get my right hand back on this flyer a little better here. Hopefully. Just banking too much. Alright, there we are. Is pointed right at 087. By the way, we're going to have to probably go up to around 11.5 or so, because the mountains and stuff that could be in the way. I think 11.5 was what FSX recommended. That's usually the lowest that you can get through, so we'll take their word for it. Let's go down here. Ah, crap. Hey, now the yoke always gotta get in the way. Turn on the autopilot. Wait for that thing to get started up. Jeez, I gotta remember how to do it now as well. I think you gotta use the yoke, don't you? There's heading right there. So this is 087. And while that's happening, one thing we can do is take a look outside. Take a look at the scenery. That openLC North America, obviously. Everything is extremely dense. There's the ground gremlins, but that should stop the first time through. So I did have buffer pulls enabled, and that seems to work really well, so pretty happy about that. Small little area, doesn't look too bad though. Just a small airport on the outskirts. I guess pretty typical for the area. Not bad. I like those kind of textures. It seems like that would be right. Kind of deserty, and then you got some of the green and stuff. It looks kind of like I would expect it there in that part of the country. Alright, and it did say to start landing after 5,000 feet. Not the normal, what we always think of normal as like 3,000, but it said lean out after 5,000, so we'll go ahead and do that. Although if you're taking off above 3, would you lean out? I'm not sure. See, it's not up yet, so we might have to go a little ways. I can't remember the usual range. It's either 30 or 60 miles on the VOR. I can't remember. And after the 113.2, we've got 114.4. Just out of curiosity. I mean, it's not going to get those either. And if there's another one close with that same frequency. Good, so no. But now we've got 114.4 after that, which is GFS VOR. Everything looks good. I'll leave the fuel pump on until we get to our cruising altitude. I'm not sure if that's totally correct or not. Maybe, I guess, part way up you could turn it off. If there's any problems, I guess you could hopefully get everything correct. If you're at a high enough altitude, you'll have enough time. I don't know. There's 5,000 feet. Let's go ahead and lean it out a little bit. I forgot my EGT gauge is right there. It's very much from the cold as well. Alright, so it says 663. Let's go ahead and put it out to 90. 669, 670. You guys may not be able to read that. It's kind of hard for me to read it as well. You can see it's already up 11 degrees, and it gets colder as we get higher, so it's actually fighting that. .676, 677. I'll let that stop for a second. Back. 677. So I'm going to take it down to 85. It's already at 680, 681. So you can see leaning out is bringing that temperature up. And I guess FSEconomy won't mess with you as much anymore. If you use less, it'll just calculate how much you should have used for that plane, and it'll just take that much away from you instead of canceling your flight. Which is good because it wasn't totally correct all the time anyway. If you remember, was it maybe the last time in this plane? It was from the 172 actually. After I completed the flight, I would go into ATA and reduce the fuel a little more. Because I was wanting to say we didn't use as much because we really leaned these planes out a lot. And we'd cancel the flight, so we'd lean it out and then complete the flight, so it would take it. 684. Down to 80%. 87. 88. 89. So you can see lean out is doing good. Like I said, we'll lean this out, or I should say we're going to climb to about 11.5. And I'm not going to mess with it. We're climbing almost 500 feet a minute, and I really like that climb. It said about 100 knots too, which is, I believe, what it wanted in the manual. So I don't like messing with the pitch of this plane because it can get crazy. So everything looks really good right now. I'm really happy with it so far. I'll be happier when the VORs come alive. When we're in range. I don't know how long it's going to take because obviously we can't use the GPS. It'll be cheating. And that landscape is just kind of wilderness. I guess in between California and Arizona. Alright, so we're about 6,500. I got about 5,000 to go. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and speed on up, and we'll be back in just a little bit. Alright, everybody, slowing it down to normal speed real quick. We're coming up to the last VOR, IGM. Frequency 108.8. I'm gonna have to about 079 degrees or so. You can see about 2.5 miles out. Then we'll switch over to a heading of about 065 degrees. This is approximate. Chances are I can't fly right over this VOR. Last one I think I missed by around a mile or so. Not sure if that's good or bad for me. As you can see, we can get pretty daggone close. And then we know to fly at about 065 degrees, and it'll be about 32 nautical miles, so we'll keep this on here, and that will help us know when we're about 32 miles away, obviously. Now we're going to miss this one by even more. See, as we get about a mile away. 087. Yeah, we're 1.3 away, so we missed it by about 1.3 miles. Alright, now it's going to switch away, so we're going to go to about 065 degrees. Of course, it could be a little different now. I'm going to hit about 067. Because we missed that off to the left, so we're a little bit to the north of it, so I'll go 067. Hopefully that'll compensate for some of it. So let's see. 065, so we what, 245? And there it comes, 245. Come on, thing. I gotta spin this all the way around again. It speeds up and I get screwed. Alright, so about 245. So if I want... Hey, so we're almost right on it. I kind of like that. And like I say, we want to get about 32 miles. I'll speed her back up here. I want to keep that thing right at 245, by the way. So if I adjust my heading here, that should move it. It really isn't. If anything, it's moving it away. But 067 again. See, it's actually going away. Now I've totally screwed myself, I'm afraid. So if I want to tune that in, it's about 243, so I'm off by about 2 degrees. So it'll be 063. So 65. I'm going to keep her right there, and when this, like I said, 32 miles, hopefully we'll be close. It's going to be hard to find it, though, because it's a dirt runway, but I'll be back in just a little bit. Alright, everybody, slowing her down to normal speed here. I think I got her, yeah. Alright, so it's actually about 064 degrees. I actually had those, I had it 2-4, I had to switch them around to get them. I was thinking, why are the flags pointed that way? So I got it now. That's about 064, so it's not bad. 063. So we're not off too bad. Now, the airport elevation is 5584. So I'm going to take her down to about 8,600 feet now. So off with the altitude hold and bringing back the power. So we'll take it about 8,600. I should have done it a little sooner. Because, like I said, it's about 32 nautical miles, and so that's less than 3 miles now. We have to try and find this thing. By the way... Alright, so the right tank has a little bit more fuel. I think I'm on the right one. Yeah, I am on the right one. Alright, so we're 2 miles away. Like I said, there's no real other airports around. The thing is, it's like I said, it's a dirt runway, so they're hard to find anyway. Let alone when you don't know that you're on the totally right path. I'm sure it's not going to be right under us. It's going to be around here. But hard to find, especially in this terrain. Trying to find a dirt runway in the middle of nowhere. I think it probably didn't show you FS Commander. We showed it, but it doesn't even have like degrees for the runway. It just said northeast, I think, and south, or what, southeast and northwest or some crap. So definitely not good. Let's go ahead and turn our landing lights back on as soon as we get under 10,000 feet. I'm going to go ahead and enrich the mixture as well. Put up to about 50. I'll go up to 60. If we find this thing, it'll be a miracle. Alright, so we're 32 nautical miles away from that VOR, so it has to be around here somewhere. And the heading of that thing, by the way, is 243 degrees. I think, if anything, I might be a little high to the north, so let's head to the east a little bit. Yeah, if we find this thing, it'll be a miracle. Increase my power just a little bit to bring the nose back up. I don't want to send too quickly here. Here's airport list. That will help us as well, which is kind of cheating when you think about it. Traffic, runway for landing. Geez, what was it? 243, so that'd be northwest. Full stop landing. Nice our position. Oh, we're 4 miles to the southeast. So we need to go northwest.
Southeast, 900,100 inbound to land. Runway northwest.
Wow, so we're off by 4 miles. I didn't think we'd be off that far. Increasing the power to bring the nose back up. As I said, it'll be about 8,600 feet. Yeah, I'm surprised. I mean, I knew we weren't going to be right over it, but I didn't think 4 miles? It just seems like we missed it badly. I mean, we did. 4 miles is bad. Yeah, I didn't think it would be that bad. It's kind of a cheat, because since FSX actually gives the direction. 8,600 feet. Bringing the power up. It says trim down. I'm not going to do it because it's actually come down on its own, so I won't touch the trim. Yeah, wow, 4 miles, huh? Alright, I'm gonna let off the power a little bit and trim her down just a little. There we go. It's kind of annoying when you hear that thing keep going off like that. Yeah, 243. So now I'm gonna be all confused about what headings we should be using and everything. We're actually gonna come in at about 272 degrees. That might actually come up from, I guess, from the south though. So it was about 272 degrees will put us 45 to get into the pattern, into 317, then to 227, and then left down to the runway. That's actually coming down as well. Let's announce our position again.
Traffic, Hyper, November 832, Papa Whiskey is 2 miles southeast, 8,600, inbound to land, runway northwest.
So that should get down to about 32 there. Like I say, it's hard to find that dirt runway. Now it's wanting me to pitch up. Increase my power a little bit instead. The thing is, with this thing pitched up like this, I can't really see over the head. Can't see over the front of the airplane. So if we were going to be right over it, it's going to be impossible for it to see. I need it out to the left or to the right a little bit, actually. Because I don't want to pop out of the airplane, because that's kind of cheating. A real pilot can't get out of his airplane. Although a real pilot can look around the side. We don't have that luxury. I know that there was a little thing of water off to the side. That might be it right there. Because it was up on a plateau on the left side. I think that's going to be it right there, folks. Luckily, this thing had helped us out. That's going to be it. Pitch down. Let's go ahead and fly on over. So I guess we won't be doing a traffic pattern, although that doesn't look like the right heading for our runway. 243, because it would be going out that way, and it's not. Hopefully I didn't speak too soon and get too happy. But that, it looked like the runway.
52 Alpha Zulu, traffic, Hyper, November 832, Papa Whiskey is 2 miles northwest, 8,600.
See, we're to the northwest now.
Runway northwest.
Oh, looky there. See how it just sneaks up on you? Alright, so I want to do a heading of about 317? That can't be right. And come on, thing. Increasing the power. See, that doesn't even seem like it. Because the heading is 243, so it would be left to right. This can't be it. Yeah, I'm 2 miles away.
November 832, Papa Whiskey is 2 miles west, 8,600, inbound to land, runway northwest.
That has to be it, right? So west, so I'm going to the east. Yeah, those headings don't match up. Like I said, there is no real other runway to the side or around it. God, this thing.
52 Alpha Zulu traffic. Hyper November 832 Papa Whiskey is 1
That has to be it.
8,600 inbound to land. Runway northwest.
Alright, here's what I'm gonna do. Autopilot off. Everything. That has to be our airport. There's nothing else around, so it doesn't quite make sense. Get off the power here. Because like I showed, yeah, there is no other airport around. So let's not lose sight of this airport. Off the power and bring my nose up a little bit. I don't want to get that speed up. What the hell is that? There's an airport right over there. Is there not? And that lines up with 2-4.
Alpha Zulu traffic. Hyper November 832 Papa Whiskey is 2 miles southeast, 8,000 inbound to land. Runway northwest.
So if we're to the southeast, it should be over here, right? That lines up perfectly. So I'm gonna fly over here. Because that lines up perfectly. See, if I just knew how to fly navigation a lot better. But I mean, it's so confusing because you got to adjust for wind and all that. And I mean, I'm not an experienced pilot. Like, that lines up perfectly. So we're gonna fly straight in. I'm surprised that we had that other airport, but see, that looks like an asphalt runway. I'm 4 miles away. That's not it.
Whiskey is 4 miles south, 7,600 inbound to land. Runway northwest.
Now we have to go find that damn runway again. Unbelievable. So we're gonna need to climb a little bit, not like that. So we can see a little better. Where are you? Is that... I'm gonna say there's water there, but we're still a good 4 miles or so away. Was that actually it? It had to have been it, the one that we were looking at first. Right there. Like I say, it doesn't match up. Oh, well, no. I always do that. Southeast, we need to go to the northwest.
7,500 inbound to land. Runway northwest.
That's why we need GPS in this plane. Just don't know nav flying well enough. Now, see, but the numbers have us flying further. It was supposed to be 32 miles. We're closer. We're to the southeast.
Whiskey is 3 miles southeast, 7,600, inbound to land, runway northwest.
So since we're to the southeast, we're going a little northwest. But that has us like right over by it. This is so confusing. Let's fly over towards that airport. That's why I brought that extra fuel as well. That looks like it because there's water off to the edge. The other side looks like a cliff.
52 Alpha Zulu, traffic, Hyper, November 832.
That has to be it.
2 miles east, 7,500.
I'm going in.
Inbound to land, runway northwest.
Bringing my nose up to bring up some of that speed. So I can get the flaps out. There's flaps 1. This is just so very, very frustrating. Flaps to 2. I mean, that looks like it from what I saw. But the headings do not line up. Unless I've written them down incorrectly, which I mean, I guess that's a possibility, but I don't believe so.
52 Alpha Zulu.
We're 2 miles away. This can't be it.
Papa Whiskey is 2 miles southeast, 6,300, inbound to land, runway northwest.
Full flaps.
52 Alpha Zulu.
It has to be it, because it's only a mile away now.
Papa Whiskey is 1 mile southeast, 6,000, inbound to land, runway northwest.
Like I say, it does make sense because the headings don't line up. So either I've written something down or wrong or something. Coming down kind of hard. Oof. I don't even know if I landed on the damn runway or not. I know it was off it a bit there. We should have had the fuel pump on as well. I'm not surprised I missed something because this has just been a hell of a flight. I'm tempted to just put GPS in this plane. Although, like I say, we're out in the middle of nowhere, which makes it harder. And the headings don't line up. So I'm pulling off the runway here. See, it says, I guess, let me get off here.
Papa Whiskey is clear of the runway.
I probably should have brought up the mixture a little bit, because we're still out a little bit, but you can see from our altitude, we're still over, 5,600 feet, which is the correct elevation for it, too. It's a frustrating flight. Parking brake on. I just don't know navigation flying well enough. Transponder off. Alright, so FSC got it. Let's turn off all the electronics. Lighting lights are off. Nav lights off. Strobe lights should already be off. Oh, this one went badly. Alright. No, I thought I had it recording. Apparently not. Hopefully instant replay will do it. Pitot heat is off. Avionics master switch is off. Let's go ahead and cut the fuel. Mags off, beacon off, master switch off. Alright, let's go over to FSEconomy and get ourselves paid. Alright everybody, here we are. And by the way, FSEconomy said that we didn't use the required fuel, so it just took out, I guess, the correct amount, which is nice because we would have just lost that flight. I'm not sure. That would have been a bad thing about how bad it went. Alright, but anyway, the income was $2,121. We had the plane for 2 hours and 24 minutes, $112 an hour, but it was our plane. So it was $269.45. We used $86.26 worth of fuel. $212.10 for the ground crew fee. Total additional cost $298.36. Says distance bonus $26.97, but like I said, it's our plane. So actual earnings were $1,526.21, and it all goes to the group. So we didn't make a ton of money. I knew we wouldn't, but like I say, I want to get that daggone plane out of here into some more populated areas. Then we got more VORs, and we can probably fly the nav a little better. I don't have enough experience flying navigation like that. We missed it by, 4 miles, so that sucks. See, nothing's going to east except this one. Man, that's going 578 nautical miles. 146 kilograms, huh? How much does this hold? It holds 279 with full fuel, so we could actually do that. Man, that's a long day. Man, that is a long-ass flight. 578 nautical miles in a Piper Cherokee. I mean, that would get us out of the area, though. Now you're in Oklahoma. Then you can go over here to, well, I guess you're still in Oklahoma. Yeah, that sounds like a good, but I don't have that much time because I only have 1 day off, and I work for another couple days and get another day off. So I'm not sure what we're gonna do. We need to get this. Maybe we can just do a ferry flight and just take it to a major city or something. I don't even know how you would do that. Let me select Cherokee. Could ship it. Well, no active repair shop, departure airport. I don't want to. So I don't really know. Obviously, I don't think we want to transfer it. Yeah, I don't know how exactly we set that up to just... Unless can we rent it and then just fly it somewhere in FSEconomy notices? I don't know. Kind of like air hauler would do. I don't know. Yeah, we got to do something because this is not going well flying nav like that. We did better last time, but this time was crap, man. That was terrible. At least that one time when we were out in the ocean, was it Catalina Island or something? At least then we could blame it on the weather a little bit. But this was just bad. I mean, we missed it by 4 miles. So, I don't know. But anyhow, I guess that's going to be it for this episode, everybody. I hope you all did enjoy it. I will catch you guys on the next flight.